Hi, my name is Zeb, and I've had numerous requests to show my arcade cabinet. So this is my MAME arcade cabinet. It stands for Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator. It is the program that is run on there. I have several ROMs on it. For legal reasons, I cannot tell you where I got the ROMs. They are out there. This cabinet design is not mine. This is someone else's that I had put on the internet. I had made slight modifications to it, and I go half and half on my authentic and my customization. I currently have 4 players set up on this. I'm going to change out my colors. The top here, along with this and the marquee, is a Lexan covering that usually you find on the arcade cabinets. Gives it a more authentic, real feel. Here, my customization is I have an easy access for all the control panels. The device board here, and along with the buttons and joysticks, are provided by GroommyGameGear.com. This actually allows all this input to be put into one. Another customization is this is a quick disconnect. I unplug the USB ports, this one cord here, stuff it down in here, undo 4 screws, and I'm able to take this top completely off. This cabinet is narrow enough it'll fit through any standard 28-inch door. What I also have for custom is a hidden drawer. Inside this drawer is my keyboard and my mouse for the computer inside. Inside here, along with a storage space, I have all my tools that I need, any spare parts that I need. The PC, of course, is loaded under there. My emulator is currently loaded onto a PC. Right now, I'm working on getting it loaded onto a Raspberry Pi. If you're not familiar, look those up so I don't have to explain. It's a little computer, $35. The back here allows access to this. I have monitors, speakers, the back of the PC. Part of my authentication process that I have is the main power cord running in here goes inside this box. Inside this box is a 12-volt relay, a 24-volt relay. That 24-volt relay controls a 110-volt relay. So when I throw the switch, it closes the 24-volt. That 24-volt then closes the 110. The 110 then closes the circuit that controls this power bar here, which all my components are plugged into. So the flick of one switch turns everything on. The computer is set up so when the power is restored, it will automatically turn on, boot up. I have it set up to automatically log in. So the old-fashioned switches, just flip the switch, it turns everything on. We come to the front. As I said, I'm trying to get rid of the PC here because of the operating system that's on it. I'm not very fond of the operating system. I'm not going to mention the operating system, so what we're going to try and do is, you know what, we'll just do it like this. I'll just cover that up. I'm not fond of that stuff. So up here, the marquee lights up. Right now I just have paper stuck on it and just made it an old-fashioned cover there, game over, but I'm going to customize it myself. The speakers I have ported up in here to give the loud sound coming through. And when this thing loads up, and of course it's still loading, you can guess what it is, that's fine, I don't care, but I'm not going to mention it because I don't like it. It automatically logs in, doesn't require a password, it is not connected to the internet, and I'm not worried about any security issues. It'll automatically bring up the main program. The program itself is free. You can get that off the web anywhere. Look for it. MAME, M-A-M-E. Just do a search. I have some sample marquees that I've thought about using. The last thing that was loaded on it was Galaga. And when I last shut it off, that's where it was. So we select it with the mouse and keyboard. You hit enter. It will bring up any wrong information about it, such as the emulation doesn't work. It just tells me to move the joystick. The game will then go through its load up, does the RAM and ROM checks of the actual arcade game. The artwork I have on here is actually coming up. It is cropped because I want the screen to be bigger, but all the games will include that. And of course, here we have Galaga. The controls have already been set up through the switchboard here, or the USB device here. So if I want my game to start, I simulate putting the quarter in. There's the game start. And of course it goes through the old jingle. I have this set more to the center here to try to get it authentic. Not quite good. The ROMs are as real as they can be as far as for the arcade was. So they will be as real for you as when you play. Oh dang, I got killed. Now, the emulator has a pause function. You could pause the game, run and get your drink, go to the bathroom, or when your wife tells you to, get out there and do the dang dishes. You can pause the game. You don't have to worry about losing it. It remembers high scores. It remembers the last game that you played. It keeps track of it. For those who don't remember, you had to have your buddy take over for you while you got your fries, whether you're at the burger joint or whatnot. If you have to configure any dip switches in the game, this allows you to change any cheating on it. You know, set it to difficult, hard, the hardest. You know, how the demo sounds on and off, and of course, if there's a upright cabinet or a cocktail cabinet. Cocktail I'll build probably later. And then of course you return the menu. Your inputs are set through your user interfaces, your ups, downs, your player 1 controls, your player 2 controls. And that is pretty much it. Now this is not complete, so if you have any, if you want to post comments of saying that that's the wrong color or that don't even look right, it's not complete. This is my own customization and everything. I welcome any input that you have, but if it's about how it is not complete, then I'll just skip over it. If you have any other questions or comments on how I got it, I'll be happy to answer them. I will provide links for GrovyGameGear.com, which provided the, of course, buttons and joysticks and the USB interface board there, which is a GP Whiz. Suzo Hap makes authentic arcade parts, which will be a coin door or even a bill changer door and an actual monitor that fills the whole screen. And that's all I have. Again, any questions or comments, feel free to post it, and have a good evening.